Listen close this morning, Warband. The loudest fire of the week was one that never left the ground. This is Saturday, July 11th, 2026. The pits are dark for the weekend and the coin has barely twitched. But the builders did not rest, and neither did the engine. Let me show you the ground they covered while you slept. Start with the anchor. As of just past 5 Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 64,200. Flat on the day, and holding the ground, it clawed back off the 58,000 floor it carved in June. Keep the wider frame in view. This is still a coin trading near half the record high it printed last October. The macro map underneath reads risk on. The broad market and the Nasdaq carrying the trend, gold holding the front of the column, Bitcoin marching in the hard asset camp. Only the long bond left red. Now set your eyes forward, because two hard gates stand between this tape and its next leg. Tuesday morning brings the June inflation print. The number the whole market is holding its breath for, after May ran hot at 4.2%, the worst reading in better than 2 years. Then at the end of the month, the Federal Reserve, where the committee has quietly swung its fear away from a soft job market and back toward inflation, and a real minority now floats another hike out loud. The odds still favor a hold, but the cooling of the last month was mostly cheap energy, and that story sits one bad oil week from breaking. Every hand on this tape knows it. Now the fire that mattered. Yesterday, at the launch site in South Texas, SpaceX chained a beast to the ground and lit it. All 33 engines of a super heavy booster, the one they call Booster 20, roared to full life at once and held for 24 seconds. The longest full power static fire of that booster class the company has ever run. No launch, no flight, just 33 engines screaming in unison, bolted to the pad, proving the hardware before it is ever trusted to fly. That test clears the path to the next launch, the 13th flight of the Starship stack, and only the second outing for the upgraded third-generation ship. The window opens as soon as the middle of next week, though the sober read says it slips toward the 20th while they stack and fuel. The flight after that reaches for the real prize, full orbital injection. And Gwynne Shotwell, the company's president, has been plain about the cadence they hunt. A launch roughly every month. Here is why it matters to this warband, and it is not the stock. The stock has been ugly since its June debut. It has round-tripped its way back down near the price it floated at, giving up a fat slice of its post-listing high while a rival billionaire's rocket outfit raised a fresh war chest and the crowd went skittish. But look at what the machine is doing while the tape frets. No one else on this planet flies reusable heavy lift at anything near this pace. That moat does not widen in a press release. It widens one full duration burn at a time, one recovered booster at a time, welded and fired and flown, while the paper traders argue over the quote. The market sells the ticker, the engineers stack the moat, from the rocket to the machine mine. Grok 4.5 has been in the public's hands for a few days now. That shipment is old news, already logged. What broke this weekend is the reckoning from outside the walls. Artificial Analysis, the independent benchmark house that answers to no marketing department, ran the model through its gauntlet, and the verdict came back a blade with two edges. On its intelligence index, the thing landed 4th of 168 models ranked, and it seized the single best agentic tool use score anyone has ever measured, the raw craft of doing the work, first in the world, at roughly half the going price of the frontier. Now turn the blade over. When those same scorekeepers pressed it on whether it tells the truth, its hallucination rate had doubled. On the hardest factuality trial, better than half its answers came back false, even as its raw accuracy climbed. Elite at acting, shakier at knowing. And XAI means to forge a brand new one of these every single month through the end of the year. Sit with what that means, because Jordi Visser laid the second order read down. just this weekend. A model that is the best ever built at agentic work is, in plain speech, the best ever built at doing a knowledge worker's job. And Visser's call is that as those agents begin displacing labor, it will not read as the ordinary weakness the Fed knows how to fix, because the Fed has no tool for a job slowdown caused by software. The displaced do not wait on a rescue that cannot come. They rotate into the one asset no committee can print and no model can copy. Let the economists brood over their institutions and their fiat. I know one thing. True scarcity conquers in a world of abundance. The thinking is being marked down to nothing. The hedge against what it breaks is capped at 21 million. And our own engine spoke loud into that same window, so let me walk the signals, because this is what you pay for. Across the back half of the week, the InvestAnswers Decision Support System flipped its optimized trend model green clear across the risk-on front. The Nasdaq proxy, green. Vistra, the independent power producer, green. Cadence Design Systems, the chip design house, green. And Tesla itself, its optimized trend cut to bullish at 1:30 Eastern on Friday, the model marking the turn ahead of the company's July 22nd earnings. That is the trend leg of the stack telling you the risk-on tide is running. Then, overnight, the other leg answered. The mean reversion signal, the one that flags when a runner has sprinted too far too fast, tripped overbought on the leaders, Bitcoin and the chip giant Broadcom. Both stretched after the bounce off the June lows. Read the two together the way the framework intends. Trend says the turn is real. Momentum says the leaders ran hot, and a breather is the honest expectation, not a reversal. That is the discipline. A strong hand does not chase an overbought bounce at the highs of the move. It marks the green, respects the stretch, and keeps its powder dry for the pullback. So carry this into the weekend, Warband. The pits are dark and the coin is still, but do not mistake a quiet tape for a quiet world. A rocket held 33 engines to the fire and did not blink. The outside scorekeepers crowned a half-price machine mine the best there is at the labor itself, and caught it slipping on the truth. A monthly heir already promised. Our engine marked the turn green, and in the same breath told you not to chase it. And two hard gates, Tuesday's inflation print and the Fed at the month's end, will set the terms of the next leg. The crowd trades the weekend chop. We trade the tectonics beneath it. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. The tape rests. The builders do not. Stand ready for Monday and stack through the quiet. Skål.